Welcome to Tracker RMS Evolution. You're watching Orientation Training Video 1. This will include 10 steps to get you guys up and running, so make sure to grab your pen and paper now. Today, we're going to be going over quite a few things. How to log in, how to use the navigation menu, editing your screen settings, using the top menu icons, taking a look at My Settings and Other Settings, getting help, including logging a support ticket, and walking you through the home screen. You should have received a welcome email from your Client Success Manager. That will have included your login link to take you to the login page and your username and password. Step 1 that you'll want to write down is bookmark this login page. You're going to be using it quite a bit, as Tracker is a cloud-based system. You can access Tracker anywhere that you have internet. If you are using a regular device, however, we definitely recommend bookmarking this page. Once you get to this page, by clicking or copying and pasting into your address bar, enter your username and password right into here. You can use the Remember Me if you'd like this to remember your password, and you can also use the Forgot in case you ever forget your password. Once you're ready, go ahead and click Log Me On. Keep in mind that Tracker is a single login system, which means you can only be logged into Tracker on one device at one time. So the first thing I want to show you guys is your home page. It will look like this. Now, if you are a brand new user of Tracker RMS, yours will probably look blank, and that's okay. Once you start using Tracker, it's going to fill up just like this because you'll be pretty busy. If you ever see an error message like this pop up, make sure that you get that handled right away by clicking the arrow. We're going to get into mail server settings in just a bit, so we'll get to that later. Now moving over here, this is our navigation menu. It will live on the left-hand side of the screen, and if you hover over the different options here, you'll see each one collapse below where you can see different options for your record types. You'll see here we have quite a few different record types in Tracker. Now moving across the top of the screen here, this little icon will minimize and expand your navigation menu. So if you prefer to have a little bit more screen space, you can always use this button to minimize those and just utilize the icons here to hover instead. The next option here is our quick search bar. This is going to be super helpful for you to quickly locate records. You can locate them using their name, email address, phone number, or record ID. So for example, if you're searching for a candidate named Aaron, you can type it in and you'll find the top 5 candidates named Aaron. Now, just because there's only 5 here does not mean that's how many candidates are in here. It just means that it's the top 5, and you'll need to continue to break it down by typing in a little bit more of the name to find the actual candidate that you're looking for. You can also search record ID like I mentioned earlier. So if you're looking for job 1668, this Java developer role, if you're a numbers person like I am, you can always utilize that ID number to search for records as well. The next option here is our help. Now, if you click on that, you can search for any keywords that you're looking for help on. So if you're looking for help on the Outlook add-in, you can go ahead and type in Outlook and hit go. That's actually going to take you out to our help file, and you can go ahead and take a look at our help files that are related. If you type in other keywords that are a little bit more basic, like candidate, for example, and hit go, you'll see that we have over 25 articles that reference that. So this help file is ever growing, so make sure to take a look at our help file using the little question mark right here, and you'll find lots of different walkthroughs and videos and ever-growing content from there. The next section is the Add New Record button, and you're going to be using this quite a bit. Use this button at any time to create new records. If you click on the Add New Record button, you'll only see records in which you have access to. So if you'd like to add a new candidate, for example, you'll click on the New Candidate button and your new candidate window will pop in. We're going to be going over how to add new records a bit more in Orientation Video 2. The next icon here is My Alerts. So all of your alerts will be viewable here. showing you how many you have and allowing you to click through that associated record. So you can see here that you have 26 alerts, and you can go ahead and take a look at that by checking these off or using the blue arrow to jump into that record. The next icon you'll see here is the flag. You can flag records anytime in Tracker. I'll show you once we get into a record where you'll find that flag, but once you flag a record, it will live here. Flagging a record just means you need to revisit it for any reason. So if you get distracted by a phone call and you need to make sure that you remember to jump back into a record, flagging it will be a great reminder to revisit that record. The next icon here, what have I done? That is going to tell you what you've done today or yesterday. So I just logged in today, so I don't have anything here, and it's Monday, so I probably won't have anything on yesterday. But it will show you what records you've looked at, what records you've updated or created. So it's a great way to go back into a job record or a candidate record if you left that record. Now the next thing I want to show you is clicking on your name. If you click on your name in the top right corner, you'll find all the settings. My settings are going to be all the settings related to yourself. Screen settings are going to be related to the screen that you're viewing. Tools and settings are going to be more database-wide settings. And then we'll go over the last couple options here in a bit. You'll also find the log off button where you can log out of Tracker for security purposes. Keep in mind we do have a timeout of about 20 to 30 minutes. So if you are utilizing Tracker and you don't use it, it will log you off for safety purposes. Don't worry, it will warn you first. So let's go ahead and jump right into My Settings, and we can walk through there. All right, so this is what My Settings look like. So step 2 of what you should get set up is make sure your information about me is correct. So make sure to write that down, fill in, and make sure everything in the information about me is up to date and correct. If you don't have the correct email or job title or telephone number, it's not going to show up appropriately in your email signature. So again, this is step 2. Make sure your information about me is up to date. If you need to make any changes to your password, you can hover over the eyeball to view your password, or you can hit the green Change Password button to change it. Scrolling on down, step 3, make sure that you do set your time zone. That's going to be important for activity logging, as well as any emails or anything else that's sent in or out of the system. If you have a different time zone or you work remote, make sure you do set up your individual time zone. Step 4 is going to be your email signature. Now, your view preferences are not going to be super important to get that set up right away. After you get a little bit more used to Tracker, you might want to set up your startup page or how you sort your activities and things like that. But really, when you first get started, you might not know how you want it set up. So I recommend revisiting this once you get a little bit used to Tracker a couple weeks in. All right. So again, step 5 is going to be my email signature. So if your email signature is the company standard email signature, all of this information, you can't edit it right in here. This information is coming from this information right up here. So that's why you'll want to make sure that that's up to date so it fills in this correctly. Now, the reason we use a company standard email signature is because your boss might want all the signatures to look the same and to just, be a bit consistent. If that's not the case, they might make you your own signature, or you can come in and, change that. So you cannot change your email signature yourself. Your management team will have to change and create a signature for you. So that's why people come in here and they're like, well, why can't I click here and change this? Your management team does have to do that. So do keep that in mind. So when I say step 5, make sure this is up to date, what I mean by that is just make sure everything fills in correctly. And if it doesn't, you'll want to fill it in here. Okay. User aliases, those come down the line again. If you guys do plan to send email signatures from maybe a generic email or from a colleague's email, you'll want to go ahead and get those set up. That's another thing your management team will have to set up. All right. Step 6 is going to be to set up your alerts. So go ahead and write that down. Go ahead and fill out which types of records you'd like to receive alerts on. So if you have a job and it is owned by you and someone makes a change to that, you will get an alert if you select that box. And then when would you like to receive alerts? Would you like to receive when any changes are made, when any activities or notes are made? Let's go ahead and say both. And do you want those on-screen notifications which end up right up here in the My Alert section? Or do you want them sent to your email? You can have either or both. Moving down to the plugin section, there's going to be quite a few things you want to make sure you set up here. And the most important, step number 7, go ahead and write this down, is going to be to get your mail server settings up to date. Now, you saw that red little error message that popped in right when we logged in. That was letting us know that our email server settings are not up to date. You'll want to choose from if you use Gmail, Outlook, or Office 365, or a custom email server such as GoDaddy or something else. So if you guys are using Gmail, you'll go ahead and select that little box, and you'll fill in your email address and your email password. This is how you set up your mail server, or what we call Mail Relay. What Mail Relay does is it basically goes over to Gmail, knocks on Gmail's door, and it says, "Hey Gmail, my name's Tracker. Can I send emails from your email address?" So from demo@trackerrms.com, and pretend I'm you. And then Gmail will say, "Yeah, sure, give me your information, and here's the information, set it up." You'll want to hit the test mail settings button here to make sure that it does go through. And then you'll hit OK. So basically what this allows you to do is it lets you send outgoing mail out from Tracker. So you can go ahead and hit send an email, send an email to a candidate or a contact, and it'll look like it's just coming right from your email address, not from Tracker. Okay, so that was going to be step 7. All right, step 8 is to hook up your LinkedIn. So this will allow you to connect your LinkedIn account to discover people in your network. Go ahead and toggle that on and follow the steps on the screen. It's going to take you out to the LinkedIn page. You'll enter in your username and password, make sure it gets verified, and then you'll be able to search LinkedIn and create candidates and contacts right from in the system. Now, step 9 is finishing up all the plugins and job boards. So if you guys are using our texting service, you'll want to turn that on. If you guys are using Cloud Call or our Click to Dial, you'll want to turn that on. And if we scroll down here, if you guys are using any job boards for searching or posting, just for searching, the searching will go here. So for example, you'll go ahead and click New, and you'll pick up which job board that you're looking to add from the list. You'll see we have quite a few in here. Keep in mind, you will need an account with these job boards already. So you can't just, get a free account. You do need to have like a monster account before you set this up, or, Careerbuilder or something like that before you get this set up. So let's say we're going to set up a TechFetch account. Whenever you pick the job board, this blue box will go ahead and give you the details that you'll need. So it says username required, password required, and then the options section is the client ID. So you'll need the client ID. Now, if you take a look at something else, let's take a look at maybe another common one, Careerbuilder. You'll see that this blue box has changed completely, and you have to enter different information in. So username and password and nothing in options. So just make sure when you're setting up your job boards for searching, 1, that you already have an account with these job boards, and 2, that you follow the unique directions, because each job board will have unique directions. Once you're done, hit OK, and it will live in this bottom box here. You'll want to make sure that you scroll all the way up and hit Save Settings if you do make any changes. You can also add an image if you'd like. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click on my name again. We're going to go to the next section, which is Screen Settings. So to edit your screen settings, you go ahead and click on the screen settings, and this menu will change here. So you'll see here that we have a main theme of painted black. So if you prefer to go a little bit easier on the eyes and you'd prefer a dark theme, you can go ahead and add that in. As of the time I'm recording this video, about 40% of users use our painted black feature. And that's because, it tends to be a little bit easier on the eyes, like I mentioned. Lots of, big software companies are using it. You can find it on Reddit. You can find it on YouTube, and plenty of other different software and programs as well. So if you guys prefer, you can use that to, just be a little bit easier on the eyes. In fact, I'll probably finish recording this video in painted black just to switch it up. You can also change your header theme up here. So maybe, you prefer it to be green or, maybe red. Okay, well, my favorite color is this lime green color. So that's how I'm going to customize. Switch over to your menu bar here. The menu bar is this navigation bar over here. So where do you want it? Do you want it to be light? I kind of want it to stay dark because it fits with my theme. And then right now it's left full width, but if you want it to be left minimized, which was just showing the icons, or on the top, you can do that. Personally, I prefer on the top. If you are a Tracker RMS user and you have been for years, as many of you guys are, you're probably used to it on the top. So go ahead and use this menu layout option right here and move it to the top. If you'd like to kind of go back to what you're used to. And then the last section here for screen settings is our layout. So you can see here that you can actually have your header fixed and your sidebar fixed if you want it to kind of freeze in place as you scroll through your system. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And unfortunately, the title bar can't be fixed if I put the menu bar at the top. So that's fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and close. So keep in mind, with your screen settings, these are set at a user level. So you'll see here, that we stayed green up here, and now my menu bar is right here across the top. I just find it a little bit easier. Again, these screen settings are set at a user level, which means if you paint your screen black and move your menu bar to the top, it's not going to mess with your boss's view or, the person you share an office with. Everyone has their own views and they're able to customize their system the way that it works best for them. So if your favorite color is not green, you're not messing with everyone else's top color. Okay? All right, so the next thing I want to show you guys is tools and settings. So go ahead and click on your name and click on the tools and settings section next. Now the tools and settings section is going to look like this, and if you're like, wow, mine looks nothing like that, never fear. It is not because yours is broken, it is because you just don't have access to this. So really only the management team is going to see access to this, all the tools and settings on the left hand side and all these 8 boxes here as kind of like quick system settings. As I mentioned before, the tools and settings that are listed here are database-wide settings. So changes to these settings probably are going to affect all users in your system. Because of that, usually only the admin or management team has access to this. So if you're a recruiter, you might not have access to all of this stuff. One thing you might want to ask for access to is the template section, which you can reach here. And then really everything else is going to be system settings that you'll want to set at a management level. We do plan to have an admin training video coming soon, so keep your eyes out for the admin training video 1 so that I will go over all of these settings with you as far as the management team. The next thing I want to show you guys here is the Raise a Support ticket. So if you do click on this, it is going to open a brand new tab for you where you'll find the Raise a Support ticket section. This is our customer portal, and if you do think something's broken, which is rare but does happen, or if you can't figure something out or if you need a bit of help, you can always log a support ticket here. I definitely recommend, as step number 9, I'm not sure if we got there yet, to also bookmark this page. In case I didn't show you the first time, you can quickly bookmark a page right here from your Chrome browser. So make sure that you do enter your username and password, walk through the support portal. If you need help, you can always look at the help file with how to log a ticket. We do have a help file on that, and that is a great way to get help. The quick tour of evolution will take you through a quick tour. It's kind of what I'm teaching you right now. So if you guys want to go through the quick tour on your own, feel free. Tracker RMS help right here. This will actually open up that same help page, but it'll take you to our main page. From there, you can click on the product button and you can walk through all of our different files. So you'll see here 36 articles on getting started, 21 articles on organizing records, things like that. As I mentioned earlier, this is ever growing. We add about 20 new files a week. So if you don't see anything, or if you're looking for a specific question that you don't see answered in here, just let us know or look back every week because we do add about 20 plus new articles a week. All right, the last thing I want to show you guys, well, I guess second to last thing, is the last way to get help is this chat bubble down here. You can go ahead and click on the chat bubble and type a message to any of our support team. Our support team will answer your request right down here. If we can't give you an answer, we might send you a help file, or we will reach out to find you an answer. So that's going to be the quickest way to get help in the new Tracker RMS Evolution version. Okay. The last thing today is I'm going to walk you through your home screen, which again looks like this. Looks a little bit different now that we're in the Paint It Black mode. But I'm going to walk you through what is shown here, and then in Orientation Video 2, we're going to dive a bit deeper. So the first section here is My Task List. This is where you'll have any outstanding tasks for the week. So anything you didn't get done today or yesterday or even months ago, as it looks like here. So if you guys want, you can click these little check marks to actually complete the task, or you can actually open up the task by clicking on the subject line, view, the date and the time that this task was due. You can also view any notes that you may have written to yourself. You can see here that I actually have some custom fields in here, which we will get to probably in the admin training. And then any records that this activity or task is linked to. So this particular task about Alex Normand is linked to this job, this contact, this candidate, and this company. So that's just letting us know that we'll be able to see this task from within any of these within any of these records. Here you'll see who it's assigned to. So my name is Andy Henry. So this task is assigned to me, which is why it's showing on my task list. And you can also set up reminders, action out different things like sending emails or calendar invites, completing the activity, or just leaving it as it is. The next section here, My Telephone Calls, same thing, but with telephone calls, any of the follow-ups that you need, so you can go ahead and open up the task to view the previous notes. You can take a look at the associations, who it's been assigned to, set some follow-ups, or use any of the actions down here. Again, I will be going over activities much more in depth in Orientation Video 2. My Alerts is really just this same option right from here, but from here, and you do have the option to clear all from here. So if you do get a little bit full of these alerts, you can select them individually, or you can clear all. Scrolling down, here is more of the what have I done today, because I haven't visited a record, created a record, or edited a record today. It's showing that there is nothing here. Keep in mind that all of your bosses can see this, so they'll know if you're working or not. So this is where you can kind of see what you've done each day and what you've done the day before. My calendar is where you can kind of get a little bit more of a visual view of your calendar and what's going on each day. So for Friday, if I want to see what's going on, I can actually open up that activity just like the rest of them, and you can see that I have an interview with Justin Bieber that day, so I want to make sure I'm on time. You can always sift through different weeks and months of the calendar by using these arrows, or you can choose to view it as a week, as a list, or by the day. The calendar is helpful because it shows all of your activities that you need to do, including completed ones. So that covers it for Orientation Video 1. Again, I will be walking you through more activities, and we'll be going through records, views, and more of this home screen. So please go ahead and take a look at Orientation Video 2 to get a little bit more in depth into the records and more information on Tracker.